Hello again, this is Brian AMCW coming to you from my multiplayer Minecraft server, Adult Minecrafting World. You can find it at amcw.us. I gotta take that sign down soon. And I'll apologize for my voice, I have a cold. But I want to do a quick installment on the progress I'm making on Castle Obsidia. In my current project, I am working on the NPC village recently. Actually, last night. I finished the fisherman's hut on this end of town. You can see the decorations I've got around and the furniture. I like to make everything look as real as possible. And I've got some docks out back. And I've also put in another crop field, which, as you can see, nobody's working. And they've stopped working this end of town also. Now, in the beginning, this was the first part of the village that I created. And as I've learned, the first building you create in your village is the village center. That would be this house right here, in my case. Apparently, when the game creates a village, the well is the first structure that's created, and that becomes the center of the village. And that is not true in my case. But anyway, in the beginning, I cured 5 zombie villagers, and they all populated this village or this end of town, mostly in this house. And a couple little tricks I pull over here, I'll explain later. And now they've all left and moved to this end of the village, or into this village, which is what I figured I had going on, was actually 2 separate villages, and I wanted them to merge into one. I don't think it's actually merged into one. It's still 2 separate villages. And they've all moved down here since I got the number 9 mark and had an iron golem spawn, which I found inside this building. Kind of strange. I didn't know they would come inside. But he is. Now I don't know if he'll go back outside. I believe, as near as I can count, I actually have 10 villagers now. And depending on where you read, you'll see that some places will tell you need 3 legitimate doors for every villager, which is in fact not true. You need 3.5 doors, legitimate doors for every villager. And I know I've got at least 10 villagers, so that means I need 35 doors. And on this village, or this end of the village, I'm quite certain I do. I haven't gone and counted every one of them individually, but if it's 2 separate villages, this in the village or this village does not have 35, so that may explain why they've gone down here. That is something I'm trying to figure out right now. I was really worried that I'd hit a wall, but I was in here looking for my iron golem a minute ago and did notice that there were hearts coming out of one of the librarians, so things may be actually picking up. It may be promising. I might have some more improvement or advancement in my village, I'm hoping. So next up, over here, I think I'm going to put in just a quick outdoors stand, just for the looks of it. And here's a trick that I learned, it's on the web, to add doors to your village to get villagers to reproduce. Is putting in a block and surrounding it with doors. And what I've created here are 4 doors. You have to put a roof over it, or for a total of 8 doors. And in the beginning they were using these all the time and it worked really well, but now they haven't come back here. Which again, it brings me back to the conclusion that this is indeed a separate village still. So I've got to get that figured out. But in another installment, I may be moving this village back even further and expanding it out, possibly even over into this area. I might get totally crazy and see how big I can make this village before it completely either fails or merges and becomes one large village. on this end of town, I did put in a few structures to add atmosphere to it. I've got the butcher shop and a blacksmith shop. Over here is an armor shop. I turned this into the library. I've actually created a second library. So I got 2 libraries. So if you subscribe to my channel and leave me some comments if you've got experience with creating NPC villages, I would really love to see what you've got to say. If you've got any inside information maybe that can help me out, get things moving along again. I'm not sure, but I was pleasantly surprised to see the hearts. That is a change over the last couple of days. And I still have a little bit of a problem with some mobs spawning inside of my village. I got to get that figured out. Or not figured out, but fixed. Now, my last installment was about my outdoor pens with my livestock and building my nice big barn, moving my livestock inside, and my crops into the caverns underneath my castle. Well, as I do my installments, you will find out that I often change my mind with the layout of my structures. And what's going to happen over here, what I had planned, is along this line where you see these markers is where the big castle wall is going to be. Quick look at my horse corrals. So down here, what I have in mind is putting in the big main castle gate. That's to the west, where most of the other players are, the direction they will be coming from. So I plan on building a big road up to my main castle gate, and the barn poses a problem. It is in the way. Which, yes, that means I may be tearing down my barn and moving it someplace else. And right now, I have no idea where I'm going to put it. If I'm going to move it to the outside of the wall, which I don't think I want that, or down to this area, I don't know. I've got an issue with that right now, but that will be another future installment. In the meantime, I'm still going to be working on my NPC village, so subscribe to the channel and check back and see the progress that I'm making here on this. And come on over to my website at AMCW.US and check out my multiplayer server. We would really love to have you join.